to hear a motion to approve the minutes of September 14, 2015. Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Down to reports, we're going to switch the order up here due to some scheduling. We're going to put Janice Randall at first over the Cherokee Nation Foundation. And then Diane Kelly, we're going to put you at the end of this, if that's all right.
Put me at the end.
Yeah, we save the best for last.
That's fine.
Okay.
Hey.
All right.
Good afternoon.
Well,
And this shows what we've been doing for September and October on our ACT prep classes. Have any questions? Yes?
on the Cherokee Nation Foundation, it was set up as a 501c3 for outside vendors that need tax write-off, whatever they can. It was a way for them to benefit or donate to the tribe in a scholarship form. Is that right?
They can donate. We also run, like, they want to make a donation to the War Memorial. That goes through us. We've had people that, through the hospital, the Health Foundation, they donated strips for diabetes check, and that goes through us just so that we can write donation for their taxes. But the main thing is the scholarships. When they donate that, then they get a tax write-off.
I'm just curious, how much money do we raise besides the Cherokee Nation, outside of the Cherokee Nation, and coming into the last year or this year, just year by year? I'm just curious, so what percentage are you relying on Cherokee Nation to run your operation at the foundation?
We get our money from CMB, and we don't get money directly from here. And I will be in this position 2 years, October 31st. And 2011 is when it moved out from Cherokee Nation. And 2011 till 2013, we didn't have any fundraising dollars. And so since I've been there, we have just received a $2.3 million grant that we're splitting with 3 other entities. And we also have in a trust, a person has donated upon their death scholarship money for students graduating from Sequoia or Tahlequah. They were very specific in their MOU, Cherokee students, and that's her trust is about $700,000.
Where did the grant come from? What grant was it you guys were awarded?
There were 12 given by the Department of Indian Ed. There were 12 grants given.
Yeah.
And so we got one. It's worth $589,009 for 4 years, for a total of $2.3 million.
What can that money be used for?
We're going to use it at the immersion school because they learn in Cherokee all day, and so they are having trouble with their testing and their EOIs, and so we're going to get some people to work, some tutors, hopefully certified teachers, that will work on their English skills and testing skills for their tests in the spring. We're going to have American Indian Resource Center is one of the partners. They're going to do some camps, leadership camps with the ropes course, and the students in 5th through 8th grade can apply and do that. Summer camps, and we're going to also, the ones that participate in that have an opportunity to apply and go to a camp in New Mexico with other tribal students. Our portion will be for ACT prep or junior achievement programs.
Okay. The State Department of Education contacted me, Dwight Pickering, who's the State Director of Indian Education. They're meeting with myself and Leroy Qualls and Etheridge and some others. I would like you to sit in on that meeting. It's on October 21st at Sequoia High School at 1 p.m.
Okay.
And the purpose of it is they have a program for immersion schools to, yes, increase test scores for reading, which, we need that over immersion school. And it sounds like something similar to what your grant is going to do. So we'd like to have you there just to study and listen and maybe bring some input.
Okay, I'll be there.
So let's put that on your calendar if you would. Yes, Councilman Baker.
Yes, on the $700,000 foundation, or when he set up, that's for the Martha Redis
No,
estate?
no,
Is that
it's a person that I grew up with, and
Okay.
they have no family, and this is a new one.
Okay, so is there any money left in the Martha Redis estate?
We have those funds invested right now, and we're trying just to use the money that is available and build those back up, because some of the money's been taken out.
Yeah, I knew that some
Oh.
have been used,
So-
such as with OSU for the
Right.
one-third match for the $1
Right.
million, and the other two schools. So,
TU, yeah.
because Martha was a good friend of mine, and I was aware of when it was set up. So I just wanted to be sure that you weren't saying that those funds were restricted, because there was no restriction. Those would be used for Cherokee
Right,
scholarships only, and it didn't matter where they lived
correct.
on that.
Yes, and because you are so generous in your budget for the at-large students, because that's all they have, is some scholarships, and they're very few, since they don't get the 2,000.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure that it wasn't the Martha Redis that you were limiting funds. Okay, thank you.
I just got a
Thank you.
comment.
Councilman Jordan.
Thank you for getting into Hobart and go help them with their ACTs. Appreciate that.
We're really excited because we've been over there 2 years, and it's the first year they've taken advantage of it. So, and I know that Harley had contacted me and I have gone to the JOM meeting and met with all the Indian education directors, and I've told them about our programs. And I would like to go into each district and do, either or both, ACT or the JA programs. And so if people in your district are contacting you, please give them my phone number, or if you'll just email me who they are, I'll make a personal visit to them, because I do want to be very fair and go to each and every district.
Very good.
Yes, Warner.
Just to shed some light, another way you can set this up a lot of times is because people are, schools, and I've never seen one that would not want the junior achievement. They've been around for 100 years. But being a member of the Chamber of Commerce, you can kind of go through them and get with them and the superintendents from the school, bring in junior achievement, bring in Janice, and a lot of times that helps get the ball turning, because there's people out there that they want to make sure that all the kids get to go, and that's another way. That's kind of how we got things turning down in Sequoia County at Salisaw. And really good programs, and I do want to thank Janice for coming down and helping us out. And we've got our first one coming up on the 19th. I'm actually going in and teaching some 8th grade students all day, and then the 5th grade is going to Biztown. So, if you get directly involved yourself with it, it seems to hold more weight, and bring in the superintendents, get the people that are really into the curriculum, because this stuff is already set up. The curriculum's there. It's not like they're adding something new that's going to be disruptive. They add this in, and it's already got student learning outcomes and all this stuff that goes right along with everything. So, thank you.
And the one thing with junior achievement, they call and they'll say, we want you to come do junior achievement. But junior achievement is a program, and we buy it and bring it to your school. And what the classroom does is go out into the community and get some volunteers, some bankers, if they're going to do financial literacy, or maybe a parent that has worked in a business, and they volunteer at your school. So you get community buy-in. That's the whole thing about it. It's not the workers at CNF that come and do the programs. It's your community. And so it may take them a year or two, like in Janelle's, we've been to Pryor a couple of times, and they're just now getting the big picture, and now they're like, yes, we want to do that. Yes, we want to do that. But I had to make a couple of visits, and Janelle's daughter even helped me get my foot in the door. So I'm depending on you guys. If I can't get in the door and you're wanting programs in your community, if you'll just let me know and you'll help me a little bit, I will go visit them.
This is for 14 county area,
Mhm.
right? And your scholarships are income-based, like, no? Just scholarship, okay.
But I will say that Oklahoma County, we have done the ACT prep there twice, and it has been our biggest group because the lady that calls us happened to be from Moore, and she called the surrounding schools and allowed people to come. This lady that does it is fantastic, and she does a 2-hour. We have some that are after school, and then the one that says Shelley Harris on there, that's a 2-hour program, and then she has 30 minutes for questions. But but the school will allow the students to come in and take it, so there's no reason for the students not to go to that.
What was the other, Moore, and what was the other school?
She just invited the schools from Oklahoma
from
County,
Oklahoma, okay.
and that's like Sequoia County. They had all their counselors come to a luncheon at the Sirloin Stockade, and we spoke to all the counselors at once, and that's why there's so many Sequoia County, because we talked to them all at once. We told them, and I think the council person paid for the luncheon, and so it's easier to do everybody at once, and that way it seems a little more fair, because we're not just singling out one school. And now we are getting more and more calls. I had 4 calls today from schools wanting us to come out.
Janice, great report. Appreciate what you do in all of our school districts, and you have safe travel to Oklahoma City.
Thank you.
All right. See.
Thank you.
See, next we got Executive Director's Report, Ron Etheridge. Ron? Ron, this is your official first report.
There you go.
It's kind of like your first ball game, maybe?
Believe me, the butterflies are there. They're there. I've been before a 5-person board and then a 14-person, 17. That's, no, you've got a report, and I'll attempt to answer. One thing you're not gonna hear from me is if I don't know, that's what you're gonna hear. And I'll get back with you as soon as I can. But Jennifer will be a part of this, and hopefully if I do not have an answer for you today in regard anything pertaining to education, she will have the answer. Bruce is back here. He may be able to help us still yet.
Bruce is asleep by the candy jar. He still think it's Halloween. Does anybody got any questions for Mr. Etheridge? Yes, Councilor Vasquez.
On the Lula Elk teaching the language course at Benita, how long a course is that? How many weeks is that?
10 weeks.
And are they having, I have not had a chance to check or even go yet, but are they having a good turnout, do you know?
They usually start out kind of high, and by the end of the class, it's kind of
Drop
low.
off, it's pretty high.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll report out after the end of the classes to let you know what attendance was.
And that's a question that I asked Roy, because that was a concern for me. I mean, I have to sign off on the allocations on the expenditures that we're gonna pay, and I wanted to know roll call, kind of what we got, and I wanted to know kind of the numbers that were expected there before we have the class. And of course, he provided that information, and he said basically just what Jennifer said to you just a second ago, that it starts out relatively high, and then sometimes the numbers dwindle just a little bit, but they try to monitor that very close.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Mr. Etheridge? Takers, you guys are doing a great job.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Hey, Ron, Jennifer, thank you.
All right,
you.
thank you.
Vernon Thompson's not here.
She's here.
Is she here? Oh, sorry, Vernon.
She's invisible.
Vernon, you guys thought you got me trained.
Well, I'll be very brief and just ask if you have any questions, but before I do that, I want to invite you all to October 23rd is the Fall Festival up here in the Children's Village.
October
And of course,
23rd.
Shelley said November 16th is the Thanksgiving dinner up there for lunch.
Thank you so much. That blesses my whole year whenever you feel that.
We
Man.
look forward to hosting all the new council members.
Yeah.
Any questions?
What's the Children's Village?
Children's Village is up here by Sequoia, behind the ball fields.
Okay.
Used to be faculty housing for Sequoia.
Anybody have any questions for Verna?
I used to know that.
And the new council members, it is the real deal. I mean, they got good spread over there. Pumpkin pie, green beans. They got. Let's not talk about it. I'm sorry.
And I want to say thank you to Councilwoman Janice Taylor for being the foot patrol at SELA in Salina.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What'd you say about Salina?
traffic patrol.
You're a traffic controller.
Thank you so much.
She's an authoritative figure. We thought about hiring her as a marshal too.
She slowed the traffic down.
What was you wearing?
I better go on that one. Thank
Vernon
you.
doesn't give a report. My apologies, Councilwoman. All right, next,
Let's get back to
we
the
got
one
it.
here.
Point of order. All right, Sequoia High School, got Leroy Qualls.
How do I follow that?
Yeah, bless your heart.
I'm your protege, Coach.
Report that I turned in, and I think under the circumstances, I'm going to touch on some new things, unless you have a question about any of the things that you're looking at. I'll just elaborate on the softball team. They finished as state semifinalists. 8 straight years they've been to at least the semifinals. That which means they've won their first game. And in 2 cases, they won their first 2 games and got to the finals. So and our kids, I went to their dinner one evening last week. They were not only a talented team and did well, but their character was much better than their talent. And that's one thing I'm really proud of. Good group of girls. I'd also like to spin off a little bit on the junior achievement curriculum. Janice and her staff do a tremendous job with the schools. She has 2 assistants down there that can come out and help with classes on any beckoning call. They keep up with everything. In other words, they're not working from behind on anything, including the curriculum that needs to be out there. I know that our kids do a lot on personal finance, financial literacy, if you would, ACT prep, credit card counseling, budget counseling, job shadowing, which this year I think will be at C&B, life skills, job hunting, how to interview, savings, how to handle a bank account, just some things that aren't really taught in schools now, and it used to be in the old consumer math class from years back, if some of you remember that. But anyway, kudos to Janice and her program. They do an outstanding job, and we appreciate them. We've got, what I'm real proud of is we've got 25 students taking the PSAT test. We'll have it for the first time at our place this Wednesday. And that's a pretty good number, and we're going down into the sophomore class and going up from there. I think the number will grow as we go. Many of you that probably realize that a lot of the East Coast schools will look at those tests in lieu of the ACT in many situations. Just report on a couple of things that, like I said, hadn't mentioned here. Cross-country team, boys and girls, won first place at Liberty Mounds last weekend. Very proud of our band. I don't know if you've ever heard our band, but the last, probably homecoming, which is the 30th, they'll put on a show. They put on what we call the light show, where we turn the lights off, and you just have to see it if you come. But last Saturday at Pryor, they got first place in the marching competition, drumline competition, and first place for drum major. And, that's with some pretty good schools there, so very proud of our band. One announcement, our college and career fair is the 21st, which is a week from Wednesday. I've got a superintendent's meeting in the morning. I've invited all the schools in the surrounding area to come. And sometimes we'll have parents show up with their kids. If you got family members or know of someone that wants to come, if they're a senior, wherever they're at, it might benefit them to show up, and we'll have plenty of colleges there. I'm glad to say that Notre Dame will be represented there. OSU will be there,
Wow.
as well as our local colleges. A lot of our career techs will be there. I've also invited a lot of our country schools, 8th graders, to come, because if you don't have a goal, you can't score. I've always felt that way. And the sooner we open our kids' eyes up, the better chance they'll have with their education endeavors.
When did you say that's gonna be, did you say?
The 21st, 9 o'clock until 11:45. And that'll be in the new gym upstairs, in the circle upstairs. Or you can just show up if you want to come by and visit. I enjoy seeing old friends and new students from here and there, you know. A lot of, Tahlequah's invited, Hulbert, Fort Gibson, local schools. You know, they're not our kids, but we're just trying to help every way we can with the education endeavor. One last thing here, our chess club will be hosting a tournament next Saturday, which is during their fall break, and they do it as a fundraiser. And, quite impressed with those kids and their sponsors for doing that, especially during fall break. That's about all the new stuff I have. The dorms are complete now.
What's
There'll be
the
a,
status on the application for the new school?
there's a delay. I got notification there is a delay. They didn't say how they were going to notify us. I'm assuming the email went to someone else here at Cherokee Nation. I think Mr. Etheridge forwarded it on down to me. You know, thinking back about that application, the second phase of it is putting a committee together or representative from a school to go in front of a committee in Albuquerque and do a presentation. Probably a PowerPoint and whatever. And that'll be the final 10 schools out of the 186. They didn't say anything about changing that. They just said that the notification process has been delayed for whatever reasons, and I don't know yet anyway.
Mr. Qualls, I think you'd be a great representative of the school. I think your heart and you're passionate about it, and speaking from personal experience, I think you'd be a great person to represent us in the school.
I'd be very happy to. I'm just an ambassador and supporter for all of our young people.
Mr. Etheridge, being new to his position, spoke really highly and kind of echoed the same words about your heart with the school. So
Well, thank you.
we appreciate what
that.
you do up there. Is there any questions for Mr. Qualls? Seeing none, great report, Mr. Qualls. And Thursday we got Locust Grove. So, anyways, if you guys want to get you some wagers going, right here. Here's your.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
All right, Coach, you have a good.
Thank you.
All right, save the best for last. Qualls, get back up. Get out of here. Talking Leaves Job Corps Career Service got Miss Diane Kelly, and we have pictures at 5 o'clock, and it's 15 till. So you guys be putting lipstick on and
Yeah,
at
get
least
pretty.
5 minutes. Okay. All right.
Talk fast.
We were in the Tulsa campus, for OSU last week. Ron Etheridge, myself, George Roach, several of us, we went up and met with the dean over their hospitality and food service. This is something that's been in the works since November of last year, and it looks like it's going to come to fruition. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some things going in the new year where we can actually build those career ladders for food service. Eric Shoemaker and Chef Don and another one of the chefs were there. So we're making a lot of progress, and we're hoping that there will be some people who are actually gainfully employed by the Hard Rock and the other food venues that will take advantage of that so that they can actually move up their career ladder. And then we're bringing a bunch of others in. We've got a graduation this Thursday night in Sallisaw. We had 8 classes that went on since about March of this last year. with Indian Capital Technology Center down in Sequoia County. We had 97 students go through that culinary program. We had 3 evening classes in addition to day classes, and we're doing a graduation exercise this Thursday night. And Councilman Brian Warner is our keynote speaker for that event since it's in his backyard. And we're kind of excited about it. Indian Capital is they're actually going to provide the food for the event, and we hope to be able to get all those people jobs. We've also got culinary starting at the Owasso Career Tech campus in Tulsa for the Hard Rock. We've got 15 enrolled, and they'll start next Monday. So we're going that direction with the culinary program. Welding, our local 584 welding, our 5th class started today. We've got 10 in the class, and the local union has been very receptive to working with us. Chuck Hoskin is a union worker from 584. He's been our keynote speaker for our last 2 graduations, and the union hall has actually tapped those students prior to them getting out of that program. So it's been pretty successful, and we know that they'll have good jobs. We are working on electrical, plumbing, masonry for the area here at Indian Capital, so that we can get some people some jobs with some of the construction that we're doing here in the area. So we're working on that. And we're working with trucking in Tawnytown, Arkansas. They reached out to us. It's called Pam Trucking, and Brenda and Daryl and I are working with them because right now there's a lot of truck drivers that can get jobs because there's a lot of people retiring, and they're good paying jobs. Talking leaves, Ramona and Jay wanted me to report that they are in the mid-range. There's 125 Job Corps centers. We're number 63 in the nation. They're on page 3, which is the first that we've ever been out of 6 pages of all the Job Corps centers, ranking-wise. There's 11 performance standards, and we're hitting them. Our math teacher, David Gord, is number 4. He was number 4 in the nation on math scores for our students. So that's saying a lot for what he and Jackie Jenkins are doing over there with the TABE scores. They're number 54 with graduate placements. So you got to commend Jay Littlejohn because he's been the placement coordinator along with being the Job Corps director for practically half this year. So they're doing a lot of good things over there. We're being contacted by businesses. I got my first one last week. A loan officer from one of the banks contacted me and said, I have this customer who has a business, and can you help them find or connect with a business they could do work for? And so you would believe some of the requests that we're getting, but word's getting out there that we're getting people jobs and we're helping some of these businesses. So I guess it's paying off for us, but sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's not so good. We are busy working on getting things ready for the National Congress of American Indians. Several of us are traveling out to San Diego. Some of them are leaving Saturday, some are leaving Sunday, so that we can go out there and get Speaker Byrd elected as the new Area Eastern Regional Vice President to succeed Deputy Chief Joe Critton. So I know that some of you all are going out, and when you get out there, we'll take care of you. We've got it all lined out. Any questions?
Any questions for Diane?
A comment,
Yes,
you failed
Council
to
Tate.
mention that Career Services took 2nd place in the chili cook-off. And I think the voting was actually rigged because the company that won had all their employees come out and they had to vote for that company. So it was a lot of fun, and thank you for including it.
Yes, if you saw the monthly report, I think I put that in there, and I think your picture's in there with us. Gotcha.
Tell him to read your report.
Yeah, but
Councilor Taylor,
no,
they
seriously.
went on wait. They-
And next year, we're going to win that,
Yeah.
Councilwoman
Yes, we
Taylor.
are.
We're going to win it next year because
Yes, we
we know how they did it, and we're going to outdo them. It's the name of the game. Are there any other
All right,
questions?
good report.
Just comment.
Yes, Councilman Creighton.
Thank you for all you do for me. I mean,
You're welcome.
I was gonna start calling her Google. I can ask her anything. So, thank you.
All right. All right, down to old business, seeing none. New business, seeing none. Announcements, next meeting is November 16th. Motion to adjourn. Second. All right, motion.